The Beast in Me is a Netflix psychological thriller about a grieving writer whose life changes when a mysterious neighbor moves in. A man suspected of murdering his wife. What starts as research for her next book turns into a dangerous game of obsession, secrets, and lies where nothing and no one is what they seem. Hey guys, thank you for clicking this video, and my question to you guys is, have you seen it? And if you did, tell me what you think in the comments, but I'm going to give you my overall experience with this Netflix series. So first and foremost, I need to get this point across. This show, this series is amazing at making you guess what the hell is going to go on. And it does a good job of every character in this show has something to gain and something to lose, and you can literally see the chess pieces being moved on this board that they're playing on, and it does a really good job of making you unaware of what's going to happen. And even with the pace of this show, I mean, there was a few moments where, I kind of nodded off, one of those, but like for the most part, it did a good job of pacing everything and making you unaware of what's going to happen. Now, of course, we know this guy right here. He is the mysterious guy who has been not guilty of murder, but people still have their suspicions. And there's a lot of, questions that still need to be asked. He's not talking to the media. So he's a very mysterious character. But there's some parts throughout the show where you're actually rooting for him, where you're actually wanting him not to be a murderer. Or, I mean, you can see something's wrong. And there's a scene in this show where he's eating some chicken, okay? Something that we all know and love, but the way that he's eating this chicken made me think this guy is a killer. Now, once again, like I don't know. It did a good job of kind of throwing your scent off. And I love shows like this because I don't want to know a show and be like, okay, he's a killer, she's the hero, that's the end of the story. It made you actually think about every other character within the show. Let's talk about the highlights of this show. And I'm going to kind of not give you spoilers, but I kind of want to set up something that happened that as soon as I seen this, I knew the rest of this show was only going to build the tension from here. There was a scenario where Aggie, which is the main character, and then we have Niall Jarvis, okay? They are meeting, and then they're in this high place, okay? A very high place. And the conversation that they have is intense. And something is going to happen. And my first thought was lie about it. Just go ahead and lie, because if he finds out, that's the end of you. Your ass is grass, okay? But she told the truth. She told the truth, and it worked. And it worked. And it helped build their relationship, but it was like the game Jenga. We have to kind of pull the pieces out. One person pulls, the next person pulls. And then the more that these pieces start to be pulled out, the less stable the structure is. And that's their relationship. They're trying to build something, but pieces keep getting pulled out, and it's only straining their relationship. And it is crazy on how that unfolds. And one of my, favorite kind of parts or things that they created within this storyline, which I really appreciated, and I kind of said it at the overall, but their relationship, like, it gets to the point to where you feel for Niall, and then you start to wonder, did he do it? And is he just being a victim of society just making assumptions and conspiracies? And Aggie, as a writer and someone as a, journalist and investigator, she's starting to feel the same way. And that sometimes makes the best mysterious type shows is where you don't know who is the bad guy. And sometimes it's staring you. It's staring you right in the face. Okay. But that's what makes this show pretty daggone amazing. All right, so let's talk about a few letdowns in this show, because the show is not perfect, even though it feels like it's close, but it's not perfect. And one of, I guess, my nitpicks, I guess you could say, was they interject their business, Niall and his father, which I realize his father is Jonathan Banks. Let me double check. Hold on. I need to double check. Yes, his name is Jonathan Banks, and he played on Breaking Bad, and he was one of my favorite characters on that show. So when I seen him in the first or two episodes, I fell in love automatically. But the show goes into a different side quest about their business and politics, and I see why it was needed. I mean, I don't want to spoil, but it was needed, but it felt like it gave too much time to it. It felt like it gave too much attention, and it veered off of the tension that was happening between these two and a few other characters. And, once again, I'm not a writer, I'm not an actor, I'm not a director, but maybe shave a little bit of time from, navigating other side quests. I don't know. It felt like it was just too much time on that while X, Y, and Z is happening. So that was a little bit of a letdown. And then one more, I guess, final nitpick was at the end of this, great ending. It was about a B+ ending, but it felt like there were some loose ends that were not addressed. And I'm one of those people, if you're going to introduce characters in the show, and these are not C-list characters, these are important characters within the show, and no conclusion. You just disappear. And no one's thinking hey, where's X, Y, and Z? Where's A, B, and C? I mean, they were an essential part of this storyline, but then at the end, no one addresses it. No one even brings it up, not even a little bit. And to me, that was a letdown. I want to know what's happening. And this was an essential character, and it felt like they should have done a better job of concluding something. And I really don't like shows that has loose ends, especially if it's not a part 2. And I think this is a limited series, so it's not a part 2. So what is going on with these extra characters? So my final verdict for this show, and once again, my rating is leaning more towards A for you need to stop what you're doing and watch this right now. Pause this video, go ahead and watch it, and tell me what you thought. That's a rating A. And then rating B is more when you get the time, or if you're not subscribed to Netflix, maybe watch this with somebody who does have Netflix. You may not want to waste all your money, but you do want to carve out some time to watch it. And then a C is don't even waste your time. Don't even worry about Netflix. This is not even worth your time. In this show right here, I gotta give it a solid A. Not an A+, but a solid A. And I guarantee you, I'm not a betting man, okay? I don't do the gambling. I don't do none of that. But if I had to bet my last dollar that you would like this show, I would do it. It captured me the first episode, halfway through the first episode, and I guarantee you're going to fall in love with this show. So once again, guys, I appreciate you guys clicking this video, spending some time with me talking about the beast in me. And once again, if you guys seen it or if you haven't seen it, tell me what you think about it. Once you see it, come back to the video. Tell me what you think about it. And once again, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next review.